I'm onboarding with the test phone. You just cleared the contacts on, and I didn't get any suggestions.
You have no suggestions
No,
in what phone?
the one you just cleared the contacts on, so I test phone.
Mm-hmm. In production?
Yeah,
Okay. I think when we looked at this, let's see. So,
let me go back to my screen recording. And it had somebody I had previously become friends with um, as under my contacts, which that might be a front end thing.
mm, yeah, I'm looking. Oh, John, let's see. I'm looking here. So, yeah, I see two users would have had Alexis Powell in their contacts.
Mhm.
It'd be you and Todd.
Okay,
But you're saying no suggestions?
right. The cool kid screen had people on it, but when I went to the edit SOT, there's just two contacts. There's no suggestions. I wonder if
I'm
it,
looking at it. It's let's see. You allowed one contact. But I'm looking at it, and the query for SOT suggestions would be really full.
right. I would imagine,
Yeah,
but they're
John
not.
Bolton, Aliana Maldonado, Todd Fiore, Ruben Hernandez, Danny Hinkle, Tori, Lisa, Zane, Mallory, Chantel, Johnny, Scott. Yeah.
Good. Didn't work. Okay. I guess I'll wait for Amin to show up on that one.
Also got the what's it called? The users for the proximity notification.
Uh-huh. You got those added.
I have them getting notified. One thing I didn't change yet is you want them to only get the notification twice ever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make that change too.
Cool. Um, what were you guys talking about before I jumped in?
I was talking about the delay on the push notifications. I was up pretty late last night watching Zane's chat, and it was just going crazy. But the notifications, they were up to 20 minutes behind.
Really?
They were super delayed. And then the chat was doing this weird thing. I don't know who kicked it off, but like they were all making profile pictures of Zane or memes, and they
Uh-huh.
were changing their profile picture, and a bunch of them started doing it all at the same time. It actually crashed the app, like the chat wouldn't load.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh, we broke it." Like it was very playful. Everybody like thought it was funny, like they
Yeah.
had achieved something. But yeah, it was. They did
Hmm.
something
So,
about all the photos changing at the same time because this was happening within like minutes of each other. Everybody was doing it.
okay. Do we have logs we can look at?
That I was wondering.
We could try to look at a session replay and see what happened.
Let's
That's
try that.
Mhm.
While you're doing that, Amin, I logged in on the test phone I was using last week. You know, the one that only has one contact on it,
Mm-hmm.
and we got the proper follow screen to follow the one contact. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was no suggestions under my SOT.
Like, did it say zero contacts and empty or nothing at
Con-
all?
Contacts were there, but it was only one. It was. Let me
Oh,
see.
because now you okay, so because for we show that those suggestions like this is too like the suggestions that where you don't allow contact, the permission, and
There's always suggestions though.
like there was nothing.
Right. There was contacts, but here's the problem. It actually was showing someone in my contacts that's not in my contacts. Um, let me share it with you.
Yeah, like we need your user key. Maybe Jerry you can look into. Is it like the results you get in because
Yeah, he said he did that. He said that there would have been a lot of suggestions.
okay, so yeah, the thing is like um we don't like as a front end, like we don't know what's in there, like the suggestions list. We just show them, list them.
Yeah, except they weren't. There wasn't even a header or anything to be shown. I'll
Okay,
post-
they have screenshots, videos.
yeah, let me send that
Yeah.
to you. So here's what it looked like under the SOT, and I circled. I'm gonna send this to you too, Jerry. I circled the top name because that name is not in my contacts. That name I had followed like in a previous session, and she followed me back. So that's a mistake, Jerry. That I'm not sure how that could even be under my contacts.
Wait,
The,
what's up?
I just sent you a screenshot.
Okay. Uh,
So
oh, Aliana's here.
yeah, she's not in my contacts.
Um,
And
yeah,
then you said there's no suggestions, but Jerry, you were saying there should have been a bunch.
he is not in your contacts. Yeah, I mean, could you possibly what? Can you confirm with me the queries you're doing? Because
Okay.
the reason that Aliana was in there was she's following Alexis Powell. So that would be why I saw her in the list with that priority with a priority level, or you or maybe you're no, she was, oh, that's what it is. Sorry, no. Alexis Powell is following Aliana. My bad. That's
Yeah.
why she was in there, because that query is called contacts and following, John. So,
Okay. Um.
and I wonder, because you were following somebody, I wonder, is that why this query got triggered? Because yeah, this is the contacts query. This isn't the suggestions query.
Yes, this is context.
So
We
why?
should see both, right? I should see my suggestions and then below that contacts.
Yeah,
Well,
you should see the suggestions below. Uh, it
right,
returns for you empty
Yeah, that's not the header's not even there.
because there's no suggestions to show.
nothing.
Otherwise, it would just say suggestions and nothing beneath.
Can you
No,
send
there's
me the query you're using? I mean,
The query I'm using.
is it SOT suggested users?
Okay, let me verify.
well,
No,
the
Uh,
there's
it's
a dozen.
user contacts and following.
no. What happened to that SOT suggested users query that we made?
That's we use it like when a user is not allowing permission.
No, I thought we were going to do it when they allowed like 3 or fewer contacts, because in this
We
case, John
changed
only
that.
allowed one.
Yeah, we changed that.
John, is that accurate?
I'm not sure what I'm hearing.
So the suggestions query, to my understanding, is that we were going to call it anytime they allowed 3 or fewer contacts. But it sounds like Amin said that it's not doing that anymore.
Yeah, remember John, like we said.
Always going to have suggestions. Always.
So we have two suggestions. Like we have the suggestions that your user did not allow contacts, and there's another suggestions query where user allowing contacts, regardless is it one or two. It's like it the query name. It's called get contacts and following, and we pass a param that says filter suggested to true.
All all that does, Amin, is that query with that parameter that only gets the contacts with the emojis in the name.
Okay, so yeah, that's so.
Mm.
I- because here it says suggested contacts, and that's what we've been using if a user allowed contacts to fetch his suggestions. Like
Why are we not using the SOT suggested query when
Yeah,
they?
I see. Yeah, I know. I remember what we're talking about here. So this perhaps should be a combination, because if you allow contacts, we do want to suggest as a high priority the ones you put emojis by their name, because that indicates a stronger relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But not everyone does that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we have to have some suggestions, and our suggestions is working really well, um, particularly for users who don't share contacts, because of how our algorithm is matching friends of friends. It's still suggesting very high value potential matches. So I would like to still um, capitalize on that. Um, so maybe this is revealing that, wow, it's still like a little bit more finessing we need to do between these. So currently, because the contacts were shared, I don't get to see that other more robust list of suggestions, right? Is that, and that, I guess that's true for everybody who shares contacts.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought, let me go to my, I want to edit my circle trust from the home screen. I thought when we do it from the home screen, it's like a hybrid approach to that. Let me double check. No, it's the same exact thing. Okay. Well, that doesn't work when somebody only allows one contact. Okay. So, okay. So first of all, how did Aliana end up in my contacts? Because that list is
It's contacts and following.
contacts and people you're following.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, what if we wanted to put the suggestions with the highest weighting with people in your contacts that have the emojis by their name, and then additional suggestions after that? What would that take, Jerry?
That would be, I think it's just front end.
Is it?
Yeah, because we have the queries that Amin can just load in the results of that, can just call, both the queries and put one list after the other.
Okay.
Now, one concern I kind of have is potentially duplicates, but then maybe we could make a parameter to exclude some users so they aren't duplicates, but then that makes the queries dependent on each other.
How about a new query?
Uh,
Or is that is it bad to have more, like a lot of queries?
yeah, I mean, like performance wise, no, it just becomes a mess to maintain.
Yeah.
It just becomes a mess to maintain. Oh, we got this query, but it only happens when this happens, and on Thursday afternoon it does this query, and
Yeah.
could have a bunch. You just got to remember all the edge cases on how the queries get called. For example, this almost was a confusion because there are two different queries, both called suggestions, that I was understanding one query would get called because you allowed only one contact, where now we changed that logic to where that query only gets called when you allow no contacts. So it's like if we can have more queries, but then you have to remember all the edge cases that call each query, and that's more to test and validate each time.
Yeah. Was the idea to go to show the more robust list of suggestions if only up to 5 contacts were shared?
That was the original idea I thought we had.
I thought
Because,
why
because
yeah, why, I mean, I forget why we changed it.
Remember how that if a user only has, like for example, 3 contacts, like that's why he has, and it's only 3 contacts.
but
If
this query, my SOT suggestion query, it returns your contacts though. Even if you have 3, like those are at the very top of the list, your contacts.
In this
It
top
was
of the suggested list?
Yes, it was built to support a minimum contact upload.
That's what I thought. I remember that.
Yeah. And it was built for that.
Maybe we miscommunicated. I mean, somewhere. Because why wouldn't we use it?
What will we use? What?
The way we had it that one originally, because I thought the only thing we were trying to fix was the case where if you're if a user has only allowed a couple contacts, I didn't want to skip that follow screen. That's the only thing I was trying to fix
All
for.
things are like connected. So like the whole
Yeah.
thing is connected. You're gonna change something, it's gonna affect something else, like in the flow. And we had this assumption that if a user shared less or five than contacts, that he's not really shared his contacts. That's why we show the list of suggestions, and that's why also um, we know whether to show the user that prompt to allow the full screen, the whole contacts or not. So it's all coming in from one place. Like the number of contacts are shared, it's a thing that's coming from one place and it's shared across where it's needed. That's why it's affected the onboarding, the SOT as well.
Hmm.
Um, we just like
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, like we can do it. It's just again, things will be messy, like because like we have this thing that manages contacts, and in one place we say the contacts here are shared, even if five or less are shared with us. But like here, it's not. So like maintaining wise, it's a little bit messy. But yeah, we can do it.
Hmm. We were doing it before, right?
Yeah, we were doing it before, and that's how it is. That's how it was. Sorry.
The only problem was that modal was blocking the follow screen. That was really the only.
Yeah, and also if a user try to resync the contacts in the SOT,
Yeah, which I haven't tested that yet. But
and if he just selected two, for example, or or not just selected two, but he is just only has two contacts for some reasons, then it will not be redirected because for us, the rule we're doing, that's not a user sharing the contacts. To share contacts, he needs to be more than five.
what do you mean redirected?
Like remember how we said if a user press the sync button on the
Yeah,
SOT,
yeah,
we take him back where he can import contacts.
right.
So that flow was broken. We did it, but it was broken because it was not working because um if a user select shared only like two contacts, it will not be reconsidered he shared contacts, so it will not be taken back again to
Hmm.
to import contacts
I
because we
thought,
were doing this rule for assumption that we were like doing this rule is five contacts or more to consider this user has allowed the permission contacts.
yeah, I see what you're saying. The way we're classifying, the way we're labeling,
Hmm.
if they allowed contacts or not, is like technically not what happened. But maybe we shouldn't be labeling it that way because I mean technically the user did allow.
Hmm.
Because and either way, like I thought even when we take them to settings, when you say redirect, I think you mean take them to settings, right?
No, when I say redirect, it's like taking back to the import contacts
Oh,
screen.
okay.
The
Okay,
run
take them
import. Yeah.
a couple steps after they've allowed the permission, right?
Yeah, so we can import their contacts because they just shared, they just like change the settings. Now the
Mhm.
contacts are available. So we need to import them back, import them, and that's why we take the user back to that screen.
Now, why would that be a problem if they had allowed, let's say, two contacts?
If the two contacts, that's all that they had is two,
Yeah.
before it was considered this user did not allow contacts. So there's no need to take him back again because he's not allowed contacts. I know he shared two, but we had this rule that says 5 or more to consider user allowed contacts, but the
Yeah.
user only shared 2, so he's not qualified, then we don't take him back. That's why we change it, like in this latest build, and
I
we
see.
remove this rule. And now is the user either even if he just shared one contacts, he's now sharing contacts with us. So we take him back to that screen to import that one contact. But it seems that uh, affected the SOT too, because the way
Mhm.
how we decide whether to show the suggestions or not is based on the context permission. And we change that now. A user sharing only one contact, he is considered that he is allowing all contacts because we don't know whether it's going to be one or two. We don't know. So we
Yeah.
consider allowed
Now,
contact.
with
That
that said, if only one or two or three, less than five are shared, can't we still use the logic we had before where
I mean,
we
yeah, we can do it. Just yeah, like for the SOT, yeah, we can keep that there, and
because
yeah,
we were already doing that. Okay, because that I think that solves everything. I think that
yeah,
way
it solves everything for you. So you will see the suggestions if a user only shared less than 5. But I'm not sure if a user, like, let's say the user shared now 8 contacts. Now he gonna be reconsidered as he shared contacts. Whether he will see a suggestions list below the contacts,
it sounds like he would not. He would see 8
only
contacts.
okay, no need for suggestions in this case.
Well, there could be suggestion they could have a contact with an emoji.
Okay, so I
It would
mean,
be
yeah, I can do it here, like in the onboarding. Sorry, the SOT. Um, keep that rule only for SOT.
yeah. What do you mean only for SOT? Where else would it be?
Like if a user shared a 5 or less,
Yeah.
we show his suggestions because he's not allowing contacts because he just shared 5 or less.
Yeah. Well, I
Mhm.
mean, it's still we'll consider that the user did share contacts, just only up to 5, right?
Um,
In other words, I don't want there to be a sync contacts button if they shared because that doesn't make sense, right? Which there's not right now. There's no sync contact button for my test phone.
okay. Yeah, there will not be a sync button because he's considered he shared contacts.
Right. Okay. Good. Okay. For a second, I thought you were saying that he'd be considered didn't share.
Okay, let me look to the code again, see what's going on there.
Okay. Gotta do
Yeah,
this.
it will not be a sync button there.
Okay. Cool.
Shared 5 or less. Even like if a user only has 3, then he will see the suggestions because he just shared 3 with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 will show the suggestions.
Yes, we're gonna show the suggestions. Yes.
I mean, they'll always be okay. Well, okay. Let me go a different way, and this might be Jerry question. Jerry, let's say we go ahead with this, like kind of like we had it. Um, the user did share contacts, but doesn't have any contacts with emojis. So, are we just not showing any suggestions? Because I feel like we should still show some suggestions because it's been very valuable. I've seen a lot of matches.
Okay, that sounds like it could be. Hmm. That sounds like it could be accurate. But the only thing we'd have to do is potentially modify that query and add a variable to exclude context because now we're going to have contacts and following on one part.
Oh, it would be just like, is that the suggestions? Would just be all your contacts? Or wait,
Well, yeah,
no, that doesn't make sense because you might have 1,000 contacts.
yeah. So let me pull up the query and verify. I believe the query for my I call it SOT suggestions. That one only stops at 5. Let's see, SOT suggested. Um, Friends, SOT, follows. Okay, following. Yeah. Okay. So, um, um, users that have named their contacts. Mhm. Yeah. Why this query would pull your contacts? What? I'm curious. Why don't we? Hmm. Why would we not have? I mean, have you tried out the SOT suggestion thing? Just
Like,
to
in what way? I mean,
like to see how it works because it looks fine. Like it looks like it includes contacts and all of everything.
okay, what are we talking about right now? Because we jump in and just like to keep track. Um, are we talking about the query that's called user contacts and following?
I'm talking about the one called SOT suggested users. Like
Okay,
that one does include contacts too. So
Is that the one that filters your contacts by the ones that have emojis?
no, this one does not filter by emojis.
So what is that one for?
This one just has all of your contacts, but this is the one that has the weighting depending on this is the query that gets called when you don't allow contacts basically, but it does have contacts in there to allow the possibility of it being used with contacts.
Okay, so I got distracted. I'm trying to unfollow, and the button keeps saying following. Defect is not usually here. Sorry. What were you saying there?
So can we try this query for Alexis Powell?
Yeah.
I just want to know like why don't we use this for few contacts? It's pretty powerful.
What will it return?
Uh, I mean, I ran it earlier. Let me
Okay.
find it.
And is it going to segment between suggested and then if I guess
The only thing that it doesn't do right now is the emojis, which I think it actually could do emojis. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh,
Are we not
shoot.
using it anywhere?
Oh, my database client crashed. Let me.
Is that why I couldn't unfollow somebody?
No, this is just on my computer. Or
Okay.
this is monthly just on my computer. Yeah, I'm back on
I
it.
mean, will you test something for me just on your emulator? Will you go to um your friends, followers, the My Circle screen from your home profile? Just tap on followers. And
once again.
then and go to the following pill and see if you unfollow somebody, does the button um change over to say
Okay, okay. So I go through any user that I'm following.
Um, yeah, home screen, and then hit followers.
Home screen, following.
Followers at the top right, and then hit the following pill,
Mm-hmm.
and then all those buttons should say following
Yes.
or friends. Tap on one that says following.
Um,
Did it update?
yeah, it shows me a loader, then it says follow.
Okay, it's not doing it for me.
Well, I mean,
I see this occasionally. I
like
feel
you
like
see
restart the
the
app. But
latest build.
yeah, I'm 37.
Okay, let me see. If I'm gonna open you say there.
Okay. It's one of those things that's like really intermittent. I have a feeling if I close the app and reopen it, it'll work. Let me try that. I'm not sure exactly what triggers it. It's the only thing. Yeah, it works now. I close the app, reopen it, now it works. I don't know. It's a weird edge case. I don't want to get too sidetracked. I mean, if you're able to reproduce it and catch it, it would be good. But if not, let's not
Yeah,
focus on it.
like Jay, were you deploying? Like,
No, I wasn't deploying anything.
okay. Mm, yeah, but okay. I'll keep an eye on it.
Um. So yeah, Jerry, you're looking into that.
I'm looking at the query. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I can get a let's see programmability function skill emoji. Yeah, I actually could apply some weighting to the suggested SOT query, and I can give additional weighting to emojis.
Say additional weight to what?
To contacts with emojis in it.
That'd be perfect. I mean, that's kind of what you already do in the other query, right?
Right. So we kind of get best of both worlds here.
Yeah, which I think we should just do. I mean, the newer apps, they're all doing that. Like they sort for you,
Uh-huh.
with names with emojis, and again, names with pictures too. I don't think we've done that yet, but like if your girlfriend adds a picture of you to your contact in her phone, then chances are that's probably somebody in a close relationship with you. So those should also be sorted at the top. We're not doing that yet, right?
Right.
Okay, that's a good value one, right? High value. I would like let's make a goal to get that by the end of the week.
Mhm.
Okay, but in the meantime, this other one. So where is that one being used? Because why are we before we just completely redo or like not refactor, but I don't want to maybe go a direction.
Are we talking about the suggested SOT users? Like to see the suggested grade.
Yeah,
We,
yeah,
we were using that, and we're still using it if user not allowing contacts.
yeah. I think when a user's not allowing contacts, everything's great.
Well, the
Uh,
thing is, like for us, like allowing contacts for us, it's like before it should be a user selected more than 5 contacts to be considered is allowing contacts.
but from now on, I don't want to do it that way. I think that was a mistake.
Okay.
I think it should be the permission's the permission, and then we take we take into account how many they shared after that. But that's we take that into account based on different approach, different logic, like not
Well,
going
if
against.
you think about it, it is the same because like we show we're just naming it like
Well, it's not the same because in one case the native operating system is saying permission is not allowed, the modal can never be shown again, like there's like rules that come
Mhm.
native. That's the difference. So we have to respect those rules, otherwise we get into trouble. This
Yeah, and that's what we changed lately for the latest build.
We do. Okay, so we are following the technical rule that like if I even if I share two, I still allowed permission, right?
Yes, and that's what just changed for the latest build, but broke the SOT because
Mm-hmm.
in the SOT we were like we want to see the suggestions
Yeah.
even if you use it just share 3 or 5. So,
Yeah.
but we were yeah, but like things got broke. That's why we had this rule. So
Okay.
now for the other screens, yeah, but only
Now,
for
let me ask a question real quick. Would it have shown suggestions? Let's say this user only shared a couple contacts. If one of them had an emoji, would it have been at the top as suggestions?
like I don't know. That's that's no, you would not see it because it's it's conditionally rendered based on that. So even if there is suggestions there, you would not be able to see it.
Because we were doing that all along. If I allow contacts, the suggested ones were at the top with the
Like
emojis.
in the contacts list, like that one that says your contacts.
No, I don't think so. I have screen recorders. Let me just double check because I don't want to trick myself, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, because there was some changes to that logic to what to show, what not to show. So it could be, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm pretty, yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was show suggestions. Let's see. Trying to find one that I allowed contacts. Here we go. What is going on? How did I not allow contacts on these? Move back further. Okay, here we go. Yeah, suggestions on top. Yeah. So this is how it used to look here. Let me send it to. I'll just put it in develop. Okay, so this was how we had it when a user allows contacts. We would have the suggestions on top, and then contacts below. The suggestions were the ones with emojis.
Now, with my query, technically everything is a suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So it wouldn't have a list of contacts or.
Well, it'd have your contacts. It would just be all called suggestions, and they'd be weighted based off of
Mm-hmm.
that. It just weighted based off of whatever weighting we provide. Because with this list, John, they're all alphabetical.
Yeah, true.
So
So where is this going to put us? When a user does not allow the permission, everything's working well. That hasn't changed, right? I mean, like all the stuff we've been doing. If the user just straight up does not allow the permission,
Yes,
the
you will see some things, yes.
yeah, the last few builds have all been pretty consistent that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's
Yeah,
just this.
those changes will only affect users who has iOS 18 plus and has 5 contacts or less in like the total, and they only like selected 5 or less because that yeah, those are the users that will be affected by this.
Okay. So, Jerry, this other query. First of all, why do we have it? Where is it even being? Is it not even being used? Why do we have it?
what? Wait, you're talking about the query that I've been talking about?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you discovered it.
No, I didn't discover it. It just only gets called when you allow 0 contacts.
Yes, which is when you're not allowing contacts. That's
Hmm.
when the suggestions. That's what we've been talking
It
about.
was originally designed though to be when you allow 5 or fewer contacts, but Amina's saying that
Kind of, we were treating that as like the same thing. Which I guess we still can, right? I mean, why can't we still use that one in the case where there's
Yes, we
only
can. Yeah, we still can. We can do that to bring it back for the SOT. Yeah.
okay, okay. I think I've got it figured out now. And if I let me see recap it with you guys. So we're already using it when the new user does not allow contacts, and that's all working fine.
Yep.
And we had been going not using it for users that allow contacts in general. We had a different one. It was basically just showing all your contacts, but sorting ones with emojis at the top as suggested, um, which we can still do, but we want to maybe override that with the former one, where if you like only allow up to 5, we fall back on the one that we would show if they don't allow contacts at all, permission at all, and we just revert to that. Is that what I'm hearing?
when you have less than 5 contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that sounds
And then
that's
that doesn't break anything you did, right? I mean,
It doesn't break the what?
like anything you did as far as like redirecting, there won't be a sync
It
contact.
will not break it. It will not break it. I will handle this case to not break it.
Okay, yeah. So no, there won't be a sync contact button. They won't have to go through settings or anything. It'll just
Wait, so I'm rethinking it. So right now in the not right now after the changes, where we're gonna say if a user shared contacts and those contacts are 5 lists, we're gonna show the suggestions. And if I'm not mistaken, let me see the same contacts where it lives.
I mean, currently it did not show me the sync contacts button in build
It
37.
will show the same contacts because um I mean I can change it. Yeah, that's a good catch to not show it.
Okay. Yeah, because if we're going by what's technically happening, technically the user did allow the permission, therefore should not see sync contact button because they did sync.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that way we don't get ourselves in trouble. We just always keep it by what's really the case.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me know when your mind is free. I got a question. I have a couple questions. One of them is for you, Jerry. So in this case, it'll just be suggestions, right? There won't even like, even though the user shared contacts, but only, let's say, shared 3.
the only reason I'm going to say it's called suggestions. It would be a combination of suggestions and contacts.
Which is fine because we would definitely suggest their contacts because they shared them,
Correct.
even though it's only 3, and then some other suggestions based on our algorithm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, and it'll be under the suggestions header. That's I guess that'd be a question for me.
Yeah. I'm free.
Okay, so first question is the iOS 18 edge case. If the user allows a permission, but they only allow 3, I guess we don't really we're not really going to attempt. Remember how we try and make an attempt to say like, why don't you share more?
Yeah, we're not gonna do, and that's what we're doing right now in the latest build.
We don't we abandoned that already.
Yeah, the latest build. Like if you use only share tree, we're not gonna be
Yeah.
going after the user again and tell them share all.
Yeah, that's gone, right?
Yeah, that's gone.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we don't need it. Okay. Well, that was a lot of work for nothing, but it's just not working out with that part of it. Maybe there's a better way with just trying to get them to share up front without even having to revisit it. Okay, so all right, we just won't ever do that as far as these flows go now. And then will the header, so if I share 3 contacts and then I have these suggestions, some of them will be the 3 contacts, of course, because definitely going to suggest the 3 contacts I shared. That'll be at the top, right, Jerry?
Yeah.
Top of the
Right,
list.
be at the top.
Okay. Now, will the header say your contacts, or I think it'll say suggestions, right?
I would, from my perspective, how we're doing the sorting, I believe would be best to show it as suggestions, but it would just be they would be at the top of the sort.
Yes. The 3 contacts I shared will be at the top of the sort, but at the end of the day, it's suggestions because some of them aren't my contacts.
Correct.
Does that work? Will it be the header from
Yeah,
your
the
point?
header will says suggestions.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's do that. And then so the rule is after 5, it's the other, like, so let's say I share 6 contacts. Now I don't get any suggestions unless they have an emoji. Is that right?
What do you mean suggestions unless they have an emoji? You're
Yeah.
saying if you allow more than 5 contacts?
Yeah,
So-
if I share 6 contacts.
Oh yeah. Well, then if you allow more than 5 contacts, then it will pull from your contacts and following.
Okay, so
Is it-
perhaps I'm not following anybody because I'm new.
Mhm.
I share 6 contacts. I won't have any suggestions unless one of my contacts has an emoji.
Correct.
Okay. I don't know how often that'll happen, but maybe it should be 10. Because like 6 isn't very many. How many people only have 6 contacts? I don't know, has that ever happened? um, hmm.
On with that new feature where you can decide on iOS what users you specifically want to share with an app, I think it's probably likely that we'll find users that only share a handful of people.
Yeah, it's really rare that anybody would pick more than like a couple. Because I've seen it. It's usually
Okay.
it's 0 or all or 1. Like
Interesting.
they'll pick 1 and then they'll get like annoyed and just go with it. Yeah, like I don't imagine it'll be almost never that they choose like handpick 6. Because it takes time. Like you have to first think about like, well, who do I want to share and that's like a lot of names to try and like come up with. Like you're just trying to get through the onboarding,
Yeah.
you know. So I guess 5 is fine. So under 5, we'll show a more robust list of suggestions based on the numbers. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Um, I mean, do you feel like you have it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. So, because this has been working really well, amazingly well, actually, with people who aren't even sharing their contacts. Like we are still matching them with people they know because of all the behind the scenes matching that's happening, and they're following them robustly, following them all the way to like filling up their circle of trust. So I just don't want to limit us in these edge cases. So um, I need to still try the thing where I get redirected. So Jerry, will you remove contacts again from my Alexis test phone?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, I'll test that. And then I mean, remind me well, there was another oh yeah, you're on the friend connect. What how did that go?
Yeah, I got two things about Friend Connect working. The first one is like, so if a user and background the app, and if there is a Friend Connect available, it will be the user will be taken to it. Like you're somewhere in the app, put it in background, going back to the app. If there is a Friend Connect, then you'll you will get we will initiate that flow for the user.
Excellent. So the subscription, you hold the subscription in on the
It's
device.
not it's not a subscription. We call it a query, like because we
Mhm.
have a way to know whether the user just and background the app. And when the user just and background the app, we call a query. That
Oh,
query is going to tell us whether there is a friend connect or not.
okay, I have a couple questions.
Mm.
So the subscription, if I'm going through, let's say I'm going through a flow where it's blocked and a subscription triggers, that's just gone. But because you can call the query when I bring it out of the background, we're using basically like kind of a fallback system for it.
Mm, no, the way how I did it, it has nothing to do with blocking or anything. It's just like,
Well,
oh,
sometimes it can get blocked. Like um, if I'm typing a message out, I'm pretty sure Ismail did
yeah,
this.
yeah. Okay, let me verify that and let me see.
Yeah. Okay. But then it's fine, right? Because the subscription maybe is lost on, like it won't work there. But
In this case, it will not be blocked. Do we want it to be blocked?
not necessarily. So you're saying if I'm typing a message and I get a friend connect, it's just going to interrupt me and show me the friend connect?
Yeah, if like let's see you type in a message, you put the app in the background,
Yeah.
you come back 5 minutes later and you bring back again to foreground,
Yeah.
you will see the friend connect, even if
That's
you're wherever you are.
that's great. Now, what about if I'm typing the message and I just keep the app in the foreground while I'm typing? I have a
I
friendship.
think that's still there. That's still there.
That's still it'll be blocked.
It will be blocked because that's with the subscription. Yeah, that's still there.
Okay. So the subscription will get blocked, but will it be there 5 minutes later when I background the app and bring the app back, or is it
It's
lost?
not a subscription. Like it
I
is.
know, not based on the subscription anymore, but also the user will still see a friend connect.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. So it will get blocked while I'm typing because the subscription won't work,
Mm-hmm.
but I could use the app for 5 more minutes. I could background it, and then because I pull out of the background and the way you're doing query using the query, it'll now still
Yep,
show me that friend connect.
yep, correct.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. That's actually perfect. So, you feel confident in it? Have you tested it out?
Yeah, yeah. I did this guy works every time when I am bankrupt the app.
Okay. Okay.
And also the if you just finish onboarding, it
Mhm.
will be it will be taken to and that's what we're doing right now. Like I found in the code, it's like it was halfway there. So if you
So,
just finish the onboarding and there
mhm.
is a friend connect, you will be taken to the friend connect, but only yeah, you will be taken to the front connect. Even if there's like a start convo flow, it will not be started only if you skipped the front connect.
Interesting. You're saying that was already live?
No, it's not all of it. Not all of it. It's like it was like I didn't have to do much of code change
Mm.
to
So
know.
it was almost there.
Yeah, just because how things were laid out there.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's great. So you didn't have to break it apart too much.
Yeah.
So it's not as much risk there. If, um, but now we'll have that one be favorite, like preferred, the Frankenx preferred over the start the combo.
Correct. Yeah. And if a user skip, then it's gonna be the start combo.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I just need to test this more. It's there because with the front connect and the start combo, it's like it's a tricky to test. I'm doing some tests. It's working. Just like because it's hard to reproduce it like live.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
so yeah. But like the code is everything there. Maybe I will need a change or two just to make sure everything is there. But that's there.
Okay. Let me know if you need anyone to help test with you.
Okay. And
But wait, before you move on, the
mhm.
friend connect thing you designed for the background, that should also be the same similar concept as badge animations, right? Were you able to address those at the same time? So like
Mm,
a badge, if I pull the phone out of the background and I had a badge animation queued,
well, let me see if we're doing it already or not. I'm not really sure.
okay, because I know right now for sure it's blocked like during a favorite flow. Like if I favorite something that triggered a badge animation, it will not play because I'm still in the favorite flow. But
Mhm.
then it doesn't play until you like force close the app and reopen it. But I'd rather it be really rather it be when you're done with the favorite flow.
Hmm. I don't think so. It is. For the badges. Yeah.
And actually, that reminds me with the Friend Connect too. The background part of it is good. Um, but what about also just like if it's blocked during me messaging, what about when I'm done messaging? I remember we talked about just storing it until the
Well,
user is
that
done.
we said like for the badges. Let me see that.
Yeah, but Friend Connect too.
Well, my knows. Yeah, we can add the friend connect. It's just like what we discussed before. It's like for the badges.
Okay.
If a badge is triggered while friend connect, that's what I have in my notes. So like yeah, I think while you friend connect or like typing a message or something, then we store that subscription for the badge after that flow. So
That'd be
it's
good.
not the friend connect that we're discussing. It was like the badges
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's good for badges, definitely. Um,
to do the same for friend connect.
yeah, that Friend Connect is the highest priority. If there is one queued, it's the highest priority to play in real time. I mean, obviously, we want to avoid interrupting something that's like a core function if like they're sending a message. But after they're done messaging, um, I would want to show the Friend Connect.
Mm.
Did it overcomplicate it now?
Yeah, it's because because it's not just like you have the messages, you have the friends connect, you have the South convo, you have like also I don't see it in here. Let me see. Also the favorite flow as well.
Mhm.
So we have to go to every flow of this, like every flow, and make sure to trigger the badge after it. If there's a badge or there's a friend connect because it was skipped. I mean, yeah, we can do it.
Mm.
Just a little bit needs it's gonna be a little bit fragile to work on it, because it's gonna be in inflows that are like sensitive, the flow in the favorite inflow, typing message.
Yeah.
Those are complex by themselves.
Yeah. True. Hmm.
Also, I'm not sure if it is, but I don't see here if a user typing a message, it should not interrupt the typing message. I don't see it.
With Badge or Friend Connect or both?
Both.
Interesting.
I see
I mean, that's the simpler way to do it, right? Like, just leave it like that.
simpler way to do. No, I'm like in general, like before, like what you just suggested. I don't see, like for example, the friend connect will be not shown.
Yeah, I understand. It's right now. There's nothing blocking them, right? In the messaging flow.
Yeah, if a user is messaging and there's a friend connect, it will see it.
Okay, and that's probably the safer way to handle this right now because there's no extra logic, right? It just goes.
Yeah, that's by default. That's how it is right now. So like if you type in a message, there's a friend connect, we'll see immediately.
Okay, so maybe we just leave it that way for
Yeah,
now. 'Cause
yeah.
I don't want to overcomplicate that logic. Um, okay, it's really more so the favorite flow because um, the thing with the favorite flow is you technically have the favorite triggering a badge animation, but there's still a couple more steps to the favorite flow because you can now share the favorite. So
Mhm.
that's why that's where the badge animation should be delayed. Um, honestly, the Frank Connect one would be. I don't mind that one interrupting basically anywhere because Circles is all about friends. Like if we have a chance to make two friendships, um, we should just take that wherever it is. So I don't even want to block that. And it sounds like it's not blocked anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really just that badge animation that could be in an awkward spot right when they hit the favorite button, the little heart animation plays. And it's like, you did technically favorite, but then it still like asks you to share. So it'd be weird to have like a badge animation
Yeah. That's why
before
it's yeah.
that one. Okay, that one we could just block like it is. It's already blocked for badges in that flow. And then just really is this as long as it comes from when the user backgrounds the app, maybe? Or I don't know, how hard is it to hold that after this you get the subscription to hold that in memory and play it at the end of the favorite flow? Did you work on that yet?
No, we just discussed this. Like we're just talking about it.
Yeah, I guess so. We're talking about Frank Connect and stuff. But what about in
Both are
this?
there, like friend connect and the badges, like this idea of triggering it after the flow ends of whatever that flow. Yeah, it was like the badges that we talked about.
Mhm.
Now we're adding the friend connect as well.
No, again, I'll let the Frank Connect interrupt anytime, anywhere because we want friends in circles.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
so it's okay. That one's okay. Let's not overcomplicate it. That way there's no risk in it. By default, it will play whenever it's available.
Okay. Because right now it is gonna be blocked if a user doing a favorite, for example. If it is in the favorite flow,
Oh,
the friend
has it always been that way?
yes.
Uh, okay. Um, hmm. And then it would only play if they background the app and bring it back.
Yeah, we just added that.
You just added that, which I still want that no matter what, because like you might have the app backgrounded all day,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Mm-hmm.
friend shit happens, you bring it out of the background at
Yeah.
the end of the day. Yeah, so that's really good. Um, well, I say we don't block the frank in it, and that'll. I think that'll be easier in a lot of ways. Is that pretty easy to
Yeah, yeah,
revert? Okay,
yeah.
let's do that. The badge animation, I'd like it to go um at the end of the favorite flow, obviously, like because like if you favorite something, what do you think about doing it that way? Just for at least for the badge animation, and
Uh,
only worry about the favorite flow.
yeah. We do this as a start and see how it's gonna go. And if it
O-
works, it can add it other places.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So can you make it so those also play if the user backgrounds the app and brings it back?
Yeah, we can add that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. That'll get a lot more engagement, I think. So, um, very good. What else? What else you got going on?
Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say that's what I'm gonna be working on today, which was like for the badges. If there was
Okay.
like a badge there, save it only after the ending of the flow, which is um the favorite info.
Okay. Okay. Good. Um, I'm I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, well, I guess we should look at separately this issue that Danny was reporting where the apps started getting slow. Have you been looking into that more, Jerry? Like
I'm trying to find replays still.
okay,
I just found I found like a 47-minute session from a user at that time. I'm gonna try and see if that's it.
okay, okay. Well then, I feel like there's like 3 or 4 other things I was gonna ask you about. I mean, but I know you got a lot to sort out. So,
Yeah.
all
Uh,
right. Well, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say also on a side note, like I fixed that issue where like sharing a video to chat was like
Mhm.
doing nothing. Like
Let me
from
see.
your gallery, from like if you go to your
Oh
photos
yeah,
app,
yeah.
yeah, I
Oh
fixed
good.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
it seems it needed a library upgrade that we using for that. So after I upgrade the library, it works.
Okay. Cool. That's good. All the libraries always have to
Yeah,
be.
you need to keep maintaining them, keep updates with them. Things
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well then, that's good. Thank you for that, I mean.
Hmm? Yes?
Okay. All right. So yeah, Jerry, you said you're looking into.
Yeah, I think I got it. I wonder if they were in the app so long and like I wonder if like the internal cache of all the images just
Hmm,
got overwhelming and that's what caused it to crash. Because like one of these users, she was in the app for 47 seconds and 47 minutes
hmm,
nonstop.
hmm.
So
Um,
and then we were sending videos,
was
images.
it a problem? From what I heard earlier, it was everybody had it the like messaging crash on them, or it was just one user.
I feel like it would hmm, that I don't. I feel like it were multiple users, and it was limited to just like never board chat. So
Should double check with it, Danny on that because I think it might have been multiples.
was it anybody outside of the Never Board Club?
That I don't know.
I for some reason I think it is only limited to that club, that group.
Okay. Okay. Um, I gotta make a call. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be back.
Mhm.
Don, is Jerry looking into that right now?
What's special replay?
The Never Board Club stuff from last night?
Yeah. I'm trying. I see some things in Sentry, but I'm trying to figure it out. It's almost like maybe some users ran out of disk space from the cache trying to write.
That could be what happened to me, because I noticed the notification that came in and said, like, we broke the app. And prior to that, I saw a bunch of messages coming in, and I saw a bunch of people in that club changing their profile pictures.
So you weren't you had an issue last night too, or
I did, because when I tried to open the app after I saw the notification that says we broke it, I was unable to load my home screen or the message lobby. And it didn't stay down for long. It was like a minute, and it was back.
yeah, I'm trying to find nothing.
In fact, I had messaged on it right away. I can tell you about what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was around 11:59 p.m. 11:54
Okay, so midnight. Okay, make sure it's timestamp.
minutes. And by the time Mama got back to me, it was already up.
Okay. So it was at midnight PST.
Correct. 11:54. So I would say in the maybe the 2 minutes that 11:52, 11:54 ish.
Oh.
Almond is still here, Danny. Is there any questions that he could help answer?
He didn't really, to my knowledge, get very far with it last night. It was back up right away. He checked a couple things. Let's see. He was looking at events that showed server down. He didn't see any of that. He checked Cloudinary, and I never heard back about what you found in Cloudinary on it.
No, I told you, at that time I did not say anything on Cloudinary also.
Nothing in Cloudinary.
Starting in the stand-up, I told you. Because I checked the event, it was like when you told me it was 1 hour before event, so did not see anything. Server. John,
Yes.
today someone called me.
Okay.
Again, same thing he was saying. He is stuck with wife illness. So he will not work this month. He will start next month.
You're cutting out a little bit there.
So like same thing he told me, like he will not start working this month. He can start working from next month.
Next month.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. I'm stuck with my wife illness. I have to go to doctor daily appointments and things, blah blah blah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yes. Let him know. You can reach out to me if he's available.
Mm-hmm. I will ask him to call you. I think he's on Slack now. Let me check. I think we have not deactivated his profile.
I don't think so. He should still be there.
Yeah, he deactivated. Yes.
Oh.
He is deactivated. Can I give you his cell number? Might be you can make a call.
Yeah, just message me in Slack.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Hmm.
Um,
I wonder. Actually, I'm sorry. Looking at the session replays. I wonder if it'd be better, Danny, if I checked your session replay at that time, because you said nothing was loading for you.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. I could tell you people who are having problems too. Hang on. But yeah, you should check mine at 11:54ish.
Yeah, let me start there. Okay, you're in the chat here. Everything's looking fine.
What time is the session at?
This one right here was 7 a.m. to UTC, which would be 7 a.m. UTC would be 11 p.m. PST.
So you need about 50 something minutes after that.
I don't have a session replay. Why do I not have a session replay yet?
I've seen that happen a few times where it doesn't register.
Yeah, I don't see it because you're in the group. I'm looking. You're in Neverboard chat. You're on your profile. Like, you're looking at it. Are they talking about the app being broken? Is everything just off rounding? Like, you were in the Neverboard chat at this time. Like, you were scrolling through it.
What time was it?
It says 7:05 a.m. UTC.
That's 11:05. Yeah, it happened about 45 minutes later.
Yeah, that's the last one I had.
Yeah, I mean that happens sometimes. Maybe it didn't register because of that.
Well, Century wouldn't be related to us. Okay, who's someone else that was having an issue?
Let me see something. Okay, here's a message from Princess Jocelyn. Jerry, we love this app. Sorry. See here. It's showing me messages over 30 minutes ago. Okay, that's the notifications coming in late. Then someone goes, I can't we broke it, I can't use it, -2. And that's when that's what I saw, and I opened it up and couldn't get the lobby to load at all.
Okay, I'm looking at Princess Jocelyn right now. Let me see what I can find. I got 7:34 a.m. UTC. And let's see. Good night. She said good night, babes, or good night, lovies. And
That's about 20 minutes before it happens.
dude,
Actually, 7:34. My chat jumped all the way down. How to do that? Well, whatever it was, it seemed to have been triggered by a lot of messages being sent all at the same time and profile pictures changing at the same time, and it didn't last long at all.
That's the only thing I'm just curious about is when do we have the daily jobs run? I'm just want to be sure. Daily jobs run at 11 a.m. So no, it wouldn't have been that time.
Is it possible that, I mean, I was on Wi-Fi and it was really strong signal. I guess what I was thinking is it possible that it was my internet? Other people were getting notifications 20 and 30 minutes late. Maybe we're having two different problems.
The notifications are separate. I'm firm set that notifications are something between um it's something between One Signal and Apple APNS. Okay, I don't see any incidents on Cloudinary's dashboard. I'm just trying to find somebody's session where it's slow. Who else said it was slow? I tried.
Well,
fixing
Zane said he was getting notification. I don't know how, uh, like logic. I don't know how honest this is, but he said notifications were 30 to 45 minutes behind.
That's. I can show you the logs in One Signal. We talked to One Signal about this already.
Yeah, I can see it happening though. I've never seen it at 30 to 45 minutes, but I've seen it at 5. And I wasn't paying close enough attention last night to know if they were 20 minutes behind. But 20 minutes behind, they should be able to do a better job than that. That's just insane. It's almost like why have them if they're 20 minutes behind?
Well, that's what One Signal said. Is he said, well, that's where you set the TTL. They're like, if you don't care if the notification gets delivered after 20 minutes, then set the TTL to a low number. And if we can't get it out that fast, we just don't deliver it at all.
I can't imagine we're sending off so many notifications though that there should be any delay ever for any reason though.
It sounds like this is something. It's something that's not at our level. It sounds like this is like Apple APNS that's throttling it.
What makes you think though that there was a few assumptions in there that we can't like what about why would it go to 20 minutes? And then why would Apple be throttling it? Does Apple throttle Twitter?
One Signal has that they have received and started delivery on the confirmation, like started delivery on the notification at the times that are appropriate. So if a message was sent at 11:52, One Signal says that they started delivering the message at 11:52.
You're confirming that?
I could just about confirm it.
You need to know for sure if you're gonna.
Okay.
Stick that.
Do we have a notification that was 30 minutes late? It won't. It shouldn't be hard for me to find.
Danny said there was somewhere 20 minutes lag, right?
I want a specific notification that was delivered late.
Danny, where do you get this information from?
I said I was getting it from Zane, so again, I couched it with that up front.
So it could be like a couple minutes.
It was. I've for sure seen them coming in 3 to 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
Many times. Let me ask him more questions.
Yeah. I have seen them come in late too.
Right, I could show you the logs of One Signal that when One Signal received the notification.
What if maybe they got it late from us? Is that possible?
That's what I want to look at, but I extremely doubt that. Because then what that means, John, is that our API would just be standing completely still for minutes, for 30 minutes.
Not necessarily still running behind.
Nothing would be behind.
Overloaded.
We would have killed a request if it took 30 minutes.
I think 30 is a crazy exaggeration. I think that
we would have killed
probably
we would
3 or 4 minutes might feel like 20 minutes to Zane. He likes to exaggerate.
We would have killed it after 2 minutes.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, that's what we have.
How do you know for sure?
We have our timeout on that on the GraphQL. But before we go on that, give me a notification. We'll find it in One Signal's dashboard.
Danny, you're looking?
Yeah, I'm looking for a notification that I know for sure was late.
Because we talked to One Signal about this before.
Are you asking or are you saying?
I'm stating.
Yeah, I feel like we did. I remember that. Yeah.
I recall, and One Signal was just kind of like, "Oh well." They're like, if you don't want them to get it after so long, then decrease the TTL, and we'll give up after that long.
Okay.
That's kind of what they said. They're like, well, we send it to Apple. Apple delivers it when they want.
Yeah. I'm sure, but I don't think Twitter has a problem. Or who? I mean, I'm sure there's big companies using one signal too, right?
Huge companies.
I've never been on an app where I received as much notifications as I would be on Circles.
Yeah, but you're also not a girl using Instagram because it's about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tevin Tyler,
Mhm.
Tevin Tyler showing me messages over 30 minutes ago. That was at 11:50 p.m.
I would like, maybe this is again another argument for why we should batch notifications that are similar in nature, right? Like if I get 4 from one person that's all similar, I might as well just send me one that says the information, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that's necessary.
That would definitely improve the speeds on the notifications.
Right. Yeah, if I get 18 reactions to something, I don't need 18 notifications.
Which I think Discord kind of does that. When Discord blows up or Instagram, maybe I had Twitter or something blow up. It just went and it like grouped all my notifications.
I'm positive. I know that like if you get a whole bunch of likes on a photo on Instagram,
Yeah, it
it'll-
goes like you have 90 plus notifications.
yeah, they won't give you 90 notifications. Yeah, but it'll say you got 90 likes.
Correct.
Right? Or something like you got, this person liked plus 88 others.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. We should probably be doing that. I know we talked about it. What does that require? Like what would have to be built?
Batching from the back end.
Yeah, like what all is involved in that? Is there a template for it? Is it straightforward?
Neither of those.
Hmm. Perhaps perhaps there is like a standard practice though.
There's nothing I've worked with personally before, but we could do some research. I mean, I have some ideas how it would be accomplished. It's just going through it all, and now we're essentially introducing another point of failure in it. That we want to make sure that all this gets delivered in time properly, because
Yeah, I mean we're also getting rid of a point of failure too.
that is true as well.
So, and this one's a known one
Mhm.
because it's going to keep happening,
Mhm.
especially as Circles grows, lots of users and lots of activity. It's a good problem to have, but it will grow.
Mhm.
So, what do we do?
I mean, yeah, we totally need to work on the queuing system. I'm just going to say it's nothing that will be instant.
Right. Can you identify though where the problems were? Maybe it was reactions. Maybe that because think about it. Like you can get a bunch of reactions really quick.
I'm still waiting on a notification.
If you did this queuing system, could you apply it to like let's say phase 1 was just reactions. Let's say we just batch reaction notifications. Does that make things easier?
I would say reactions aren't as high value as they're not as high value as what you would call like messages.
When you say value to who?
I would say value to the recipient. Like, yeah, reaction's cool. You want to know when you get a reaction, but like if for something happens and the notification doesn't come through, at least it wouldn't be as big of a blow to us as if messages quit coming through.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
we batch the ones that are lower value to the user because
Mhm.
it's not like I need 50 notifications about reactions, and perhaps that frees up the other ones. So
Mhm. Right.
that's kind of where I'm going with it. And then, but my question is that an easy phase one? Is it making it easier, or is it like you might as well just do all of them batched, or is it easier just to at least batch one subset like reactions?
I think it would be fine to start with reactions.
Okay. So it's we're taking smaller bites, in other words.
Correct.
Okay. Great. I'd rather layer on complexity rather than try and do it all at once.
Mhm.
So in my mind, it would be simpler just to do the one, that one subset, which would probably unclog a lot of the pipes,
Mhm.
if you will.
Well, I think it only goes to like it only matters to the recipient. I don't think it matters like I don't think the pipe is shared by the whole system. I believe the pipe is shared by the recipients.
Okay.
So if like let's say Never Board Club goes crazy, people that are not in Never Board Club shouldn't get delayed notifications. Because like as much as I've seen it, I believe all of my notifications have been coming in fine since we uh since we lowered the amount of notifications that come from Never Board Club because it only comes from following and like I'm only following Zane who's really active in that club. So
But now we don't know that it was affecting people outside, do we?
we do not know if it was not. Yeah. We don't, but there's no way I can really tell.
Yeah, but I don't think we have any reports of that.
Correct. It would require a report.
Okay. Dan, you still looking for that notification?
I was talking to Zane. He said they were coming in and they were saying 45 minutes on the timestamp on the notification when they came
Yeah.
in, but he
That's
cleared them all.
that's almost exact that would prove my theory of we of one signal got our notification. It just took 45 minutes between one signal and Apple because the time because that 45 minutes ago, that's the time that one signal got our notification. And if it takes 45 minutes to deliver it, it's going to have that timestamp when it's delivered. Does that make sense, John?
Um,
It does, and it also lines up with last night. They were coming in so much after midnight, and I was trying to go to bed, and they just were coming in over and over and over. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna mute these notifications for I don't know what it was, like 24 hours. And I muted them, and then 30 minutes later, they were still coming in, and I was going, what the heck? Like,
There
so
you go.
why would it take 45 minutes between one signal and Apple?
That is if let me see if I can find the messages of one signal.
Because like the other big companies that use one signal, they're not suffering this problem. They would dump one signal.
Let me see if I can find it. The notification. Um TTL. Yeah, I would like to know exactly what notification, rather than me just assuming I would like a notification. But what Zane is saying about the notification coming in like immediately as 45 minutes ago, I'm saying this is Apple, and we could check. I think Amin has access to check the Apple APNS log, and I don't know if that includes anything about timestamps.
Okay.
I mean, could you? How easy could you check the APNS log? Is that? Am I understanding that right? Through the developer account?
APNS log, like for notifications.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Those like happens on the Apple servers. I'm not sure.
So there's no log that you can check.
No, like if a notification did not arrive, did not user did not receive it, then there's no logs. We didn't control it, but there's like a dashboard. Um, I mean, like a dashboard where we can see the stats of the notifications. It's in something called CloudKit. Let me send you the link. If you have, probably you should be having access to it.
Okay. So let me delivery log. Oh goodness, this is gonna be a lot. Let's try to get into there.
It's not like a very detailed logs, but it gives you like an idea. Well, not the delivery log. It should be the overview. Once you go there, select the overview tab.
Yeah, I'm just signing in right now.
Yeah, like from the logs, like there's a chart. There's like a decline. The line it was like increasing and increasing, and like the past 3 days, 4 days is declining. It's like decreasing. And
What kind of chart is that?
yeah, in the that did you are you there? Dre?
I'm the page keeps crashing for me.
Mm,
You able to load it?
yeah, yeah. Maybe you don't have
Because my it
this.
keeps like spinning and it's like not responding.
Let me send you again this link. Like you're able to sign in and everything, right?
Okay, yeah, it just came in.
Okay. So that's the chart that I was talking about. You see this blue line? It's like received by EPNs.
Mhm.
It was here at 51, then started declining.
We can't see anything from yesterday. I
I
see it
think
going to
there's a
June.
last week. Yeah, there's yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's only last week, last 2 week,
Yeah.
and there's not much more. See, it just gives you a rough idea. Let me see channels and tools. I think those. And if you have the unique ID of the IPNs, like I'm sharing my screen, you can. He says it's not finding it, but
One signal gives us the APNS ID. If it did, that would be helpful. Well, wait, there is a push token. Hold on. So maybe let me try this. So if I try this user and I find her iPhone. Okay, I have a one signal ID and I had a push token for her. Let me see. So No. No, this is only for the development environment. Now that page, activity location, push to complication, background. Well, yeah, this does not benefit me at all right now because this only goes to January 1st.
How far back do you have to go?
This only goes up to the latest that it shows right here on Apple is January 1st, but it doesn't allow me to drill into the notifications anything specific.
Okay.
So the only thing is now the TTL. That's the only thing I see. I would like a notification, a specific one, for me to validate that it was nothing on our end, nothing between us handing it off to one signal. But I don't think. Yeah. So right now, I'm
I
thinking.
mean, what was that chart telling you? You said the line was going up and it was going down. What was it telling you?
Just like the um the notifications that it should be sent there now. Like there's a decrease. It's not like telling us exactly the reason why.
Hmm.
Maybe the users are not active. There's no much buzz going on, or maybe there's something wrong with one signal. You don't know. Just like things are declining.
What time frame?
It's like from May 31 to now.
Okay.
That's accurate because we did. I mean, it's going down because we're limiting the amount of notifications that can be sent because we're filtering it to only like friends and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's like other let me look to the like all of them are declining. I thought like one of like the error, a red one. There's like a red line there. I thought it will be increasing, but it's not. All of them are declining. It's just normal behavior. Like for example, the notifications that did not get delivered for some reasons. Like in this case, they should not. They should be increasing, but it's not. It's keep declining, so it's normal.
Okay. So it looks normal to you.
Yeah, the chart looks normal, like because we limited it that, so everything went down.
That that only says whether or not notifications are getting delivered. Though it doesn't say how fast they get delivered or if they get delayed. Is that correct?
Oh, is yeah, yeah, it's that. That's all.
Right. What we're trying to determine is, why are these users waiting 45 minutes before getting a push notification?
Oh, okay. I don't think there's a thing that we can look to verify this.
Are we on a plan, like a lower tier plan or something with one signal?
We pay a lot for one signal. Like this should not be happening.
How much are we paying?
It's like $12,000 a year, at least.
I mean, 1,000 a month isn't crazy for how many notifications get sent.
Yeah, I don't think there's any limitation in it, but let me check the plan real quick.
Because that could be a factor. So Jerry, though, that's also not the source of the other problem they reported, where I guess like the chat crashed or whatever, however they're explaining was slowing down or whatever.
I was trying to find a session replay. Let's see. Go back to this tab. Thought I saw somebody say something. Oh, this is a long session. It would be this one. Yeah. And this is at 34. Okay, who Aliana was another user we were gonna check. Yeah,
We're on a
don't
custom plan. I'm gonna reach out to them and get us on a call. Their sales team, describe the problem, see if they know anything. But we have unlimited mobile push.
Hey Danny, sorry, Tori just got back with the dog. What were you saying? I got distracted.
I was saying we're on we have unlimited mobile push and we're on a custom plan. So I'm gonna get one of their salespeople on the line and see what I can learn.
That'll be helpful. There's answers. Yeah, will you dig deep into this and just stay with it? And when I say stay with it, I mean over the coming weeks.
Yeah.
This will only get more compounded. You know, we have more chats, more users, more engagement, which more notifications. So it's just going to compound and compound, which they should know. Explain what we're doing, and it's probably unusual compared to their other clients. So they'll probably have suggestions, warnings. You know, make sure you're getting good answers, getting to the right people.
Okay. No problem.
Cool.
I'm still not able to find a session replay. Maybe let me try this approach.
Okay.
Try from what's it 640 to maybe this was at what time? 7:50 a.m. UTC. Oh, 1 second. I don't know, somebody tried calling me 3 times and I answered, they hung up on me. Okay. See if this gives me any insight. Voices still. Oh my god, these people now they're just calling and hanging up. Okay, cool. All right, somebody butt dialing me.